informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good morning to you. Thank you as always for joining us here on Global Morning. Here on Global Television, we are in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Uji Agmofwebe.
I'm Ramsey Enoch Agbo. It's a beautiful day. We are here again, and of course, Abuja is glittering this morning, and I think it's a sign that it's a good day. It's good to be with you on Global Morning this very beautiful day.
Yeah, me too, Ramsey. Quite interesting. You know, when you said that Abuja is, was it glittering?
Yes.
There's a kind of mantra now in Edo State. They say Edo is shining.
Edo is shining.
Right, that's been on for a while now. I mean, I keep seeing that on Facebook and across social media spaces. And then I hear that Delta State has borrowed the same slogan. So they say Delta is shining. So while Edo is shining under the leadership of Governor Monday Okpebolo, Delta is shining under the leadership of Sheriff Oboriwori. So maybe if we want to extrapolate from what you just said, we can say Abuja is shining under the leadership of Nyesom Wike.
Nyesom Wike, who said he will soon tell us the party he belongs.
I mean, it's long overdue, quite frankly, because, I mean,
let's be... He's not in PDP anymore. I'll keep asking you this question. You've been dodging it.
I don't speak for him, or you want us to connect you with Mr. Larry Olayinka, he's a spokesperson. I mean, his media handler.
No, let's just leave it now, since nobody asked him and he said he's going to tell us.
Yeah, honestly, you made a very valid point with that, because the man has been, I mean, this is voluntary, all right? He says, okay, let's not extend the wait any longer. I'm going to state very clearly, very soon, where I belong, politically speaking, because it's been 2 years down the line and people are still wondering, at what point are we going to have clarity in terms of where this man belongs? But again, if we want to be fair to him for a second, he has always said up until this point that he is a card-carrying member, bona fide member of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and he has never been unequivocal about the circumstances that led to his decision to serve in President Bola Tinubu's government. However, he says, while on the one hand, he's a member of the PDP, as it stands today, he can't also pretend about the fact that he feels honored for the president to have called him to serve his fatherland in his government. And I think beyond politics, we can say that's only natural.
It's a welcome development because what we've actually agitated for in this country is let's put political differences aside,
right,
and work towards the good of Nigerians. And that's exactly what's happening, because the president, on assuming office, said he was going to work with experts, technocrats, right, the people that know what's up. Across board. And I think we saw something in that direction, especially when Wike, even though there were a lot of speculations that Wike did so much for him in Rivers State, you know, videos flying, you know.
Going into the 2023 election.
Right? Yeah. And, you know, this era of AI, you cannot even play some videos anymore. Right. But then the bottom line is, if he said he's going to tell us the party he belongs, let's keep our fingers. Let's just wait and see. Nobody pushed him, but he said, well, there have been a lot of speculations on social media, in the media space and everywhere about where he really belongs. And some people are saying, well, he's in PDP, but working for APC. But I think he's working for Nigerians, not APC, working for Nigerians under the APC's administration, which is not a bad one. If we can have that across board for all administrations, it will be a good one. If you're good if you're good, like some persons were speculating that maybe President Tinubu was going to call on Peter Obi to work with him after the 2023 election. There were speculations in that direction, but we never saw that happen. We don't know if there were conversations along that line. But then it's good if it's all about Nigeria, and after the election, you win the election, your opponents, people who oppose you from other parties, you check out their capacity and bring them into your administration for just to move Nigeria forward. Was it not just yesterday? We're talking about the fact that how Ruto was actually pushing for Odega, you know, as a president. This is somebody that was a strong opposition. As a matter of fact, before the case was settled and Ruto took over the seat. So if we can have that in Nigeria, why not? It's good. But then Nigerians are waiting to actually know the party that the Honorable Minister of FCT.
So apparently, Ramsey, the ball is in the court of the FCT Minister to let the cat out of the bag. But again, you can't fault the PDP in this regard, because the PDP's concern is very simple and straightforward, right? Is it possible for Wike to say as a member of our party, that is the People's Democratic Party, serving in an APC-led government, APC-led federal government, that is, and be insulated from the APC dynamics? Those are the concerns of the PDP. But in any case, the PDP also needs to realize that to whom much is given, much is expected, right? We understand the PDP has leadership top to bottom. So if they think as a party that Wike has committed any infraction in light of their constitution, code of conduct, or guidelines as a party, what exactly should be the way forward? What should be the next line of action in terms of punitive response? All right, what does the Constitution stipulate as regards how you deal with an issue of a member who has gone, if you like, anti-party, as they say? If you say what Wike is doing is anti-party,
Wike has said he's not doing anti-party.
Exactly, and the PDP keep, as it stands now, crying wolf. Because if you think the man has really committed an infraction, you sanction him. And can one man be bigger than a political party? Well, we are hearing that during this convention in Ibadan, or your state capital, which again has started losing dust already, even at the very top hierarchy of the party. Wike is one of the issues that will also be spotlighted. Maybe that's where a definitive action will be taken on him.
Then they arrive at the final decision, as a matter of fact.
Hopefully.
Because the Wike issue has actually stampeded a lot of things in PDP. Well, it's obvious. It's obvious because sometimes you get to their meetings, you attend their meetings, and you hear some of the things they say. As it is right now, if it is anti-party, I don't think one person will be bigger than a political party. If he's into anti-party, there are rules to the game as far as the People's Democratic Party and every other party in Nigeria is concerned. If it's not playing by the rules, then there should be actions to be taken. But I'm still wondering, because it's amazing how that the People's Democratic Party's leadership have been quiet all the while, you know, because we just hear, you know, from different angles, this is what is happening, this is what Wike is doing, which is Wike here, Wike there, Wike here, Wike there, and all of that. And nothing has been done. And Wike will tell you till tomorrow that he's a card-carrying member of the People's Democratic Party. And some persons will even speculate that, yes, he has done so much for the party. So he's not somebody that can be thrown aside just like that. Well, let's just wait and see what will happen after the convention, even though the issue of convention is raising dust among the leaders as we speak. That's to tell you that the problem in the People's Democratic Party is big. Somebody said, was it yesterday or so? Somebody was saying, well, it's like PDP is going into instinct. And I was like, well, you can't finally say for now, because PDP is not a small party. Irrespective of the crisis, they can still pick it up from wherever they are right now and work in 2027. But then, I don't know, some persons are foreseeing a more powerful coalition that possibly some other parties, if they really want to give APC a run for their money, then other strong parties should still join the coalition.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed and see how this pans out. Ultimately, all eyes on Ibadan. Countdown has started already. We saw Governor Seyi Makinde, governor of Oyo State, who is also the chairman of the subcommittee on transportation for this convention. I mean, it's such a big event that a serving governor has been made the chairman of a subcommittee. Yeah, but again, whatever it will take to revamp the People's Democratic Party that Nigerians had known before now, I'm sure no cost should be spared, including appointing governors to do whatever is required of them. We're taking a break, everyone. When we return, we bring you some more discussions here on the program.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Unless something changes at the 11th hour today, being Thursday, the 16th day in the month of October 2025, Professor Josh Amokpito, President Bola Tinubu's chairmanship nominee for the Independent National Electoral Commission, will be standing in front of senators today as part of the screening exercise that will ultimately, all else equal, confirm him as the chairman of Nigeria's electoral umpire, INEC. Several issues have been lined up in the days before today as to what should be expected, not just in terms of the confirmation screening, but the work cut out for Professor Amokpito in the event that he's screened and confirmed by the Nigerian Senate. So what exactly are some of those challenges? One of them highlighted already is the need to pursue aggressive, relentless reforms within Nigeria's political or electoral process. Now, that's apparently a tall order, given that we're seeing the challenges that previous INEC chairmen have had to confront. But that does not in any way change the fact that the headwinds ahead of whoever becomes the chairman of INEC continue to be very vehement, especially again when you look at the number of electoral exercises that have been lined up between 2026 and 2027. Let's begin with even Anambra, for example, Ramsey, where we understand there will be an election on the 8th of November. Gubernatorial election or cycle poll. We've seen the campaign issues amongst the political parties, the gladiators, including the candidates themselves. But again, this has now been seen as what will likely be the first test for Professor Amokpito in the event that he is screened and confirmed by the Senate today. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, there are people who say that that one is not going to be, that exercise in itself is not going to be so much of a challenge for him, given that it's just a standalone election, as it were, one state out of 36 states. So it's going to be relatively easy for him, because some people also say there's a chance he has understudied previous chairman of the commission. Being a professor himself, he's not a stranger, all else equal, to how electoral processes work. But they say he who wears the shoe knows where it pinches. Professor Amuboito apparently has never worn this shoe.
Exactly what I wanted to say, because there are dynamics, all right, as it has to do with our elections in Nigeria. And if not until you are there, there are some things you can see from afar, okay, but the farther you see, the lesser you understand, because you're just seeing, you're not a part of it. You can understudy, all right? Understudying and practicalizing it, these are two different things. And then one more thing, again, I think it's good that the president is somehow in a hurry to get him on seat so that at least he can do more studies and maybe use Anambra as a case study, you know, preparing towards 2027, even though there are speculations or proposals to bring the election down to November 2026. Now, as it is, he's a professor. Probably he may have been a returning officer at some point, I don't know. But then, looking at his background as a legal practitioner, and of course, with his level, so much is expected of him. Because it is a hot seat. It is INEC is a hot seat. I cannot really point to an INEC chairman who had 100%, okay, after a particular election. There must be people who are disgruntled, people who are not satisfied, people who would want to make cases, people who will go to court. As a matter of fact, like it was being said, in 2023. So I think the earlier he's been confirmed, the better. We're waiting for what will happen today. Well, Nigerians are not expecting so much. It's still going to take a bow because already some screening, internal screenings may have been done before his appointment. So he may be taking a bow today. And well, the earlier the better. I know the acting chairman would need to put him through one or two because she's been with Mahmoud all the while. And of course, let's see what will happen. But to tell you the truth, that seat is not a very easy one, whether or not he's been studying it. So let him get inside. Like you said, he should put on the shoe and see where it's pinching. What people are saying from outside, what you see from outside is different when you get inside. You know, there is this saying that spectators play better than people in the field of play, the analysis and all of that. So let's just see what will happen after today. If he's been screened today and, of course, confirmed, then from Monday he will hit the ground running.
All right, so I think that's seems to bring some alignments into the conversation because the president had said while he was campaigning between 2022 and early 2023 that he would hit the ground running from day one. So it will be in order for Professor Amuboito to do the same and to extrapolate from what Ramsey just said a while ago about that you need to wear the shoe to know exactly how it feels. The professor would have to be adjusting the string of the shoe as he makes progress into the leadership of the Independent National Electoral Commission. We're taking a break, everyone. When we return, we'll look at headlines from Nigerian newspapers for you. Do stay with us.
Congratulations to His Excellency, Barrister Dr. Peter Ndubuisi Mba, on your decision to defect from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. I am delighted to know that you have made a carefully thought-out decision to pitch tent with the Progressives under the leadership of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. This is not only historical, but evidently a bold move that is guaranteed to better position the good people of Enugu State. Once again, congratulations, Your Excellency. This is signed by Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, former National Chairman, All Progressives Congress.
Let's quickly take you through the national dailies and see what the papers are saying this morning. It's a beautiful day, and of course, we want to begin with the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Let's see what the papers have for us. As a matter of fact, from the Punch newspaper this morning, I have this headline, which says, inflation rate slows, first time in 3 years, to 18.02%. Nigeria risk coerce over rising violence. Sultan, Muslim headers warn. Muslim leaders, I beg your pardon. Bayelsa Governor Diri Speaker, other lawmakers quit PDP. We won't negotiate with bandits, says Katsina Governor, rather. That's rather talking right there. The faction still going on, but then it appears as if the People's Democratic Party seems not to be bothered about it. Now, the faction, that's the kicker. By 2026, Nigeria will have 30 APC-controlled states, says Information Minister Idris. Currency swap, new framework on the way, that is coming from the CBN governor, the president of Cardoso. A suicide, that's the kicker. Reps move to ban hazardous pesticides. Reps move to ban hazardous pesticides. Some riders to that story, actually. And of course, the first rider says, Vanguard Summit assemble panel to deliberate on suicide crisis. This one says 70% of suicides in Nigeria linked to injection of toxic pesticides. That's coming from lawmakers. The final one says, speakers, a panelist emerge for summit already. Okay, now let's take you to the big story on the Vanguard newspaper, which says Obi Dixon, ADC rail against spate of the factions to APC. Is there anything that can be done about it? Some riders to that story, actually, and the first rider says, nobody can capture Southeast with defection, says Peter Obi. Atinubu's one-party state unfolding, that's attributed to ADC. I remain firmly with PDP. That's Dixon talking right there. 3 more PDP governors will soon resign. That is Fayose saying that. Okay, those are the headlines from the Vanguard newspaper this morning as we move to the next paper.
All right, Ramsey, thank you. Let's turn to The Nation now for you. We begin with the headline. On the top left corner of it, it says NERC approves 28 billion naira for DISCOs to provide meters. That is the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission approving 28 billion naira for distribution companies to provide meters. We keep hearing about this funding for metering, but hopefully one day we'll get to the bottom of it. New investments to add 600,000 barrels per day, 2.0 billion gas daily. All right. That's again still on the same Nation newspaper. One more we have. Top right corner, Edu spotted in high spirits at London Gallery booth. All right. That sounds great. You can find those details on page 3. Then the star headline reads, Lopo Biri Wike orders OK Diri's exits from the PDP. Then how many riders do we have? 2 of them. Deputy Governor yet to decide. Dixon Obi Kik, PDP State's chairman, endorse convention. All right. IMF urges Nigeria to prioritize infrastructure funding. Stable Naira, food price, cash drop inflation to 18.02%. You know, it was a few months ago at 37%. They say it was an all-time high for us, but now we seem to be doing better after the rebasing of the Nigerian economy. Okay, let's take it down to the bottom. 5,000 teachers get employment letters in Edo. Tom Polo donates 10 billion naira to Delta Security Fund. That's a lot of donation coming from an individual. Those details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Please read up details for yourself as we move on to the Guardian newspaper now.
All right, so in the Guardian newspaper this morning, we have some headlines here. The first one says, Senate screens Amopitan as INEC chairman today. We already talked about that. Katsina government not part of communities. Negotiating with bandits, says Rada. Addison says Nigeria's revenue to output ratio may drop to 9.2% by 2030. That's IMF warning that Nigeria's revenue to output ratio may drop. Dropping more, I don't think that will be to the interest of Nigeria as it is right now. As stakeholders welcome easing inflation, worry about cost of living crisis. Reps probe $35 million Browse modular refinery project. The project is not working. The refineries are not working. And money is constantly being released to these refineries. So it's what probing $35 million. We're not talking about Naira here.
Right.
I don't know. Some people...
Well, which is in the neighborhood, in Naira terms, of 50 billion.
50 billion as it is. Can you imagine? Oh, all right. That's huge money. It should, of course, be investigated. This one says, Wike mocks defectors as Diri dumps PDP with 21 Bayelsa lawmakers. They always move with their cabinets, the administrators and lawmakers as it is. The big story says Obi Articles 2027 bids wobble defections, internal strife, rock Labour Party and PDP. All right, Obi in Labour Party, Atiku in the People's Democratic Party, and of course, it's been said here that their bid for 2027 is wobbling as defection and internal crisis rock the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party. Moving away from there, let me take the last one now. Tom Polo contributes 10 billion naira to Delta Security Trust Fund. Details you can find on page 26. These are an individual donating this huge amount of money to Security Trust Fund in Delta State. All right. Those are the headlines from the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right. Next is the Nigerian Tribune. Let's start out with the star headline for you. The kicker says intrigues as deputy governor to senators, rep members ditch Bayelsa governor. Why I dumped PDP, Diri, solution to PDP's problem is not by joining APC, Dixon. Diri's decision changes the state's political outlook first time since 1999. More rep members will follow Bayelsa governor soon. Source, all right? But all of those details await you on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Above the name masts, here, IMF hails Nigeria's fiscal reforms, calls for smarter spending, stronger tax systems. Nigeria's inflation rate drops to 18.02% as food prices, energy costs decline. If you look at the left side of the front page of today's issue of the Nigerian Tribune, 3 headlines here. The first saying, Okpebholo gives employment letters to 5,000 teachers. That's quite a high number of teachers to be employed in one fell swoop. Commendable. Alleged misconduct. DSS arrests 2 ex-operatives. And then some health matters here. Diet soda unsafe for liver. Experts warn. And then lastly, INEC is a kicker here. Keep your reputation intact. Obi tells Amukbito. That's pretty much the kind of piece of advice he's been getting since his nomination for the chairmanship of the Independent National Electoral Commission. All right, pick up the Tribune, Nigerian Tribune, that is, and read up details as we flip it over to the Daily Sun now.
On the Daily Sun newspaper this morning, defection won't stop Nigerians from voting candidates of their choice. That's coming from Peter Obi. World Bank warns of looming job crisis, pushes agribusiness as solution. And now to the big story, which says PDP loses another governor as Diri quits to join APC. 2 riders to that story. Ex-Governor Dixon, ADC, attack ruling party, warn on implication of one-party state. The second rider says mass defection to APC vindicates my support for Tinubu. Wike is the one who is saying that. That's deep. So invariably, you should be thinking of probably the party he's going to announce. Because for him to say the mass defection to APC vindicates his support for Tinubu, and of course, these are his party members defecting. Can we now say he has a part in the defection? But then whatever these governors have been told is what nobody has been able to fathom yet. But let's still keep our fingers crossed and see how all of this is going to end. Are we actually tilting towards a one-party state? Sultan, Muslim leaders raise the alarm over social media abuse and insecurity. It's on the rise, I tell you the truth. Our federal government flags trafficking, maltreatment of Nigerians in Libya, Niger, and Chad. Details you can quickly find on page 4. A Christian genocide not possible in Nigeria, says ex-ACF scribe Sani. And finally, Edo Governor Okpebholo recruits 5,000 teachers. And details you can actually find on page 29 of the Daily Sun newspaper. And that's going to be the size of the headlines from the Daily Sun.
All right, we move now to the This Day newspaper. This Day, above the name mast here, says Cardoso woos investors as FX turnover hits $8.6 billion, anticipates current account surplus to exceed $20 billion. Well, you have a handful of riders accompanying that headline. And then just immediately under the nameplate's right end, inflation declines further, 18.02% amid moderation in food, energy prices, FX stability. What more do we have? 24 hours after Mba joined APC, Diri abandons PDP, keeps mom on next move. 3 writers here. First one says, quits with whole of party structure. Ben Bruce joins APC. Dixon reiterates loyalty to party. PDP appoints Ben Obi convention secretary. That's a veteran of the party, Senator Ben Obi. Incidentally, those are pretty much the headlines we have from this day newspaper today. As always, we encourage you to read all those details so you can stay guided regarding the direction of news. Let's turn to Daily Trust newspaper now.
All right, let's quickly look at the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Sultan seeks social media regulation at Ulama meeting. PDP governors now 8 as Diri resigns. Inflation drop, that's the kicker. Despite food price reduction, purchasing power low. Then the big story says a fuel price climbs to 1,000 naira as queues resurfaces. Nigeria lose bid to host Commonwealth Games. Oh my God, this is not a good one for me. I've actually expected this to work out for us because it would have boosted our economy to an extent. But then, well, all things work together for good. Odinga's death creates vacuum in Kenya's opposition. Jonathan decries abandonment of projects. And of course, the last from the Daily Sun newspaper this morning says court quashes suspension of political gatherings. You can get the details on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper as we flip to our next point of call.
All right. Thank you, Robson. Now we're looking at our next paper, which is the Punch newspaper. All right. Above the nameplates, top left corner with a picture of former President, Dr. Goodluck Billy Jonathan. It says Jonathan slams successor for abandoning Bielsa projects. Apparently, it's referring to the man who succeeded him. In this case, happens to be former governor, now Senator Dixon. All right. Presidential jet still unsold 4 months after listing. Inflation drops to 18.02% in 6-month streak. That headline has a picture of CBN Governor Olayemi Kaduso. One story that is replicated across newspapers today says Senate screens new INEC chair Mukbuton today. Global Television, as always, will follow that engagement for you. And then the Star headline with a kicker, Hurricane Tinubu, mass defections ignites one-party state fears. And when you take it down further, you find that that headline has a few riders. Atiku will be kick as Tinubu tightens grip on South with governor's defections. APC awaits Diri, OT, Kefas, Mofwang. So the All Progressives Congress has apparently lined up the next set of PDP governors to be bringing into its fold. All right, further down, bottom left, Lagos rejects National Assembly's Central Gaming Bill. 4 arraigned over murder of Osun local government chair. House probes $35 million modular refinery projects. Those headlines are on page 24. All right, those are the headlines from the Punch newspaper. Let's now move to the Leadership newspaper.
All right, on the Leadership newspaper this morning, beginning from the left-hand side of the paper, Leadership's 2023 conference speaker, Raila Odinga, dies at 80. He's not going to be part of that promise coming from the president anymore. He's passed. Strike. Students give lecturers government 7 days to resolve dispute. I don't know what's going to happen after 7 days. All right. The picture of the Minister of Education is right there. Published contractual details of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Atiku tells federal government, I can change Nigeria's situation in 4 years. Obi, another promise coming again. The same person who said, well, I have just 4 years. Give me 4 years. Give me a try. Just test me and see if I wouldn't turn the fortune of Nigeria in just 4 years. This is what a lot of people couldn't do in, let's say, how many years? 7 years. Some have even been there for 8 years, 16 years, and they couldn't do it. But then, let's see what will happen in 2027. He has not really declared. We don't even know where Obi is right now, whether ADC or Labour Party, but he will tell you he's in Labour Party.
Right.
Let's just keep our fingers crossed and see what's going to be begetted, what 2027 is going to give birth to. The Senate screens new INEC chair Amopitan today, replicating on almost all the papers. 13 killed in renewed Plateau attacks. Attacks returning to Plateau again. This is not a good news at all. All right. More headlines from the Leadership newspaper this morning. And this one just beneath the newspaper. Zenith Bank meets recapitalization target. Achieves 614.65 billion naira capital base. That's a good one. Congratulations. Now, inflation drops to 18.02% on improved harvest. Forex stability. This is attributed to experts. And of course, the big story, which is going to be the last, says reactions as two People's Democratic Party governors defect within 48 hours. That's where the issue is, within 48 hours. Was it pre-planned or it just happened coincidentally? Some riders to that story, of course. And the first rider says Governor Diri dumps PDP after Mba joined ruling party on Tuesday. A governor's defection, part of one party state's conspiracy. African Democratic Congress is the one saying that. But the president have said, well, I'm not a fan of a one-party state. Let's just see what will happen in 2027 and beyond. My name is, of course, this is the size of the headlines from the Leadership this morning.
All right, so let's move away from the Leadership and see the New Telegraph for you. Quickly, the first headline on the New Telegraph, which is the big headline, actually, it says Nigeria's inflation rate drops to 18%, lowest since 2022. Then we have a rider here with it, highest in Ekiti, Rivers, Nasarawa, lowest in Bauchi, Niger, Anambra. Pages 3 and 28 is where you have those headlines this morning. Above the nameplate, Tinubu mourns as ex-Kenya PM Raila Odinga dies in India. Leader of Madagascar's military rebellion says he is taking position of president. Interesting. Critics of my decision to work with Tinubu now rushing into APC. Wike. Defections 2027 will be between the people and APC, says ADC. And then further down, reps order Jos Disco to remit 72 billion naira to federal government within 60 days. Another PDP governor dumps party, that's in reference to Governor Doyo Diri. U.S. fact-finding mission confirms Christian genocide in Nigeria. That's on page 6 of the New Telegraph. We understand the National Assembly has also waded into this by way of investigation. But in the meantime, it says U.S. fact-finding mission confirms Christian genocide in Nigeria. Senate to screen new INEC chair Amukbiton today. Then it says probes frequent accidents or the ugly incidents in aviation. Okay, so you find a way to read up details of all these headlines from the New Telegraph. Let's go to our last paper, which is the First Daily.
All right, and the first daily this morning, let me begin from the top. Dixon faults Diri's defection once against one party state. All right, now to the big story. PDP in meltdown. That's the kicker. Diri, Bembru's others quit as APC tightens grip nationwide. Party, some writers to that story. The first writer says, party now controls just 8 states amid fresh defections. Wike says Exodus vindicates support for Tinubu. INEC begins countdown to Anambra governorship poll, assures transparency. That's what it is. Take It Back movement to hit Lagos, other cities with mass protests. Okay. NANS issues 7-day ultimatum to federal government, ASU, to end strike dispute. APC dominates 30 states by 2026, says Minister Idris. Federal government targets 600,000 PBD boost in crude output through new oil investment. That is barrel per day, 600,000 barrels per day boost in crude output through new oil investment. And then this one says, of course, Senate sets Thursday to screen new INEC chair Amopitan. Nigeria's inflation rate falls to 18.02% in September. And of course, those are the headlines from the first day this morning. First daily, I beg your pardon.
All right, sir. Thank you so very much, Ramsey. Incidentally, that's where we are wrapping things up here with regards to the headlines from Nigeria's national newspapers today. Just again, as always, to remind you that Global Television does not in any way contribute to these headlines or their contents, their details. All we do is bring you the headlines as published by their respective publishers. When we return, we'll put our first conversation on the road, focusing squarely on the states of Nigerian politics.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Congratulations to His Excellency Barrister Dr. Peter Undoboise Mba on your decision to defect from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. I am delighted to know that you have made a carefully thought-out decision to pitch tent with the Progressives under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. This is not only historical, but evidently a bold move that is guaranteed to better position the good people of Enugu State. Once again, congratulations, Your Excellency. This is signed by Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, former National Chairman, All Progressives Congress.
right, let's turn to politics, everyone. Nigeria is evolving real quick. Some people probably think that evolution is happening faster than one would have thought. But again, what else do we expect for a country that has been practicing democracy for the 26th year uninterrupted? Perhaps some of these events unfolding right in front of us are only, if you like, some sort of intrinsic factors or attributes we should be experiencing at a time such as this in our political history. However, the recent spates of defections, particularly from the People's Democratic Party, often involving serving governors into the fold of the ruling All Progressives Congress, has now given some very deep-seated concern to not just the political class, especially those in the opposition, but also to the everyday citizen in this country. Beyond the defection we are now seeing, what exactly does this mean for 2027 election and indeed for Nigeria's democratic journey? I'm joined by Toba Owojaye, who is a public affairs analyst, to help us understand what is unfolding in our polity at this point and what exactly the implications are for our democratic experience. Toba, I'd like to say a big thank you to you for joining us on Global Morning.
Good morning, sir, and I'm happy to be here again.
Great. So I'm sure you are always in the news. I mean, you are always following the news. Yesterday was another interesting story, but just before yesterday, if we back up a little to Tuesday, it was actually the official ceremony marking the defection of Barrister Dr. Peter Umba, the governor of Enugu State, from the People's Democratic Party into the All Progressives Congress. Does this shock you in any way?
This does not shock me in any way. There are aspects of it that saddens me, but the aspects of it that also gladdens me and makes me know that I deserve my flowers and I know my onions in this game. We have always predicted this will happen, and we wish it didn't have to come to this. There were very, very easier and straightforward ways to have all of this happen, but the opposition have not truly done what they need to do. They have not followed the right routes, and that's what has led to all of this.
Interesting. When we say the right route, what exactly is the right route? Because those who have defected keep pointing at, one, what they have referred to as internal conflict within the PDP, and then they also, on the other hand, talk about how that their defection will help them better connect their respective states to the center, which is the federal government. Is that in any way in contravention of the right route?
Okay, so let me say what I know about Nigerian politics, and this is Nigerian politics. It doesn't work in America. I don't know whether it works every other place. This is Nigerian politics. We are largely divided by our tribe, our region, and our religion. And this has nothing to do with our political parties as it stands. In my opinion, since 1999, when Obasanjo came in because MKO was denied his clear victory and his election was annulled. MKO died for it. Obasanjo got that ticket. It could have been Ekweme, but because Ekweme didn't have any military experience, and the person who was denied the ticket was a Yoruba man, and they had to find a Yoruba man with military experience so that his election will not be he will not be kicked out like Ernest Shonekan. So they got a military man, and they got somebody who's able to weather the storm. So we had democracy coming for 8 years. After that 8 years, in the first 6 months of that 8 years, we saw a vice president who was brought in from being a governor and made vice president. He didn't serve as governor one day. Why was he picked? He was picked because he stepped down for MKO when he was told to step down. And then he now benefited when it was now time to pick a VP. And which is Atiku. And 6 months into his tenure as VP, he was already in words planning to upseat his president, and it came to a big drag that the president had to kneel down in public to beg him, and Obasanjo finished his 8 years and now denied Atiku. He had to leave the party, go to another party, had to pick another northerner. Then we dragged it on till Yar'Adua passed on, Goodluck took on. So we now had 14 years of southern rule and 2 years of northern rule. And people convinced Goodluck that he should go for another 4 years. And even in that 4 years, he should make it a law now that presidents can only serve for a single term of 6 years. Meaning that he could have done 6 years and added another 6 years to it, and then denied every other person from having 2 terms. It is these matters that fragmented this country. It is these matters that brewed Boko Haram. It is these matters that led to high-spread, wanton corruptions and killings. When we tilt this scale of the flow of, for Nigeria, I'm not talking of other countries, I don't know of other countries. When we tilt this scale of power moving freely from north to south, we get all these political problems, we get banditry, we get kidnapping. Those are the offshoots we get from that. So everybody had to now work for power to go to the north. And Tinubu was one of the strongest proponents to push power to the north. So when power got to the north for 8 years, after 8 years, Tinubu said, Imiloko, means I have supported you when power was not with you. I supported you to gain power. Now you have gotten your 8 years. Power is swinging back in my direction. It's my turn. And with that narrative and many other factors, he was able to get his victory. Now he has served only 1 term, and the same people who I told you during Obasanjo's time, who were made vice president, and in less than 1 year they wanted him, they already started planning to remove him, brought the same circle again, trying to remove him from in his first year or second year. And the South is saying, you see, we cannot continue allowing you bully us in our first term. We didn't bully you in your first term. As a matter of fact, in your first term, PDP zoned the ticket to the north. Please remember that. In the first year of Buhari, PDP zoned their ticket to the north. So Atiku and others freely contested. Fayose was denied the chance to buy PDP ticket. Fayose was in his hype and in his prime at that time. He was denied because the ticket was zoned to the north. So we are saying, if the ticket can be zoned to the north then, so that there was a smooth transition, why can't the ticket be zoned to the south now? Northern politicians, 4 years will not kill you. You will be around in 4 years' time. Let the south have their fair fights. Let's have Tinubu versus Obi versus Goodluck, and let the 3 of them drag it out, or whoever among the southerners, and let the northerners make their choice. And after that 4 years, it will now be the turn of the north, and then we would have to make our choices from the northern options. So these are the things that has come to play, and because that is being fought, the southern power that be is speaking to the southern governors that instead of them to gang up against us, because it's easier to aggregate the northern votes than to aggregate the southern votes. This is just policy. I'm not being partial. So if you cannot easily aggregate the southern votes, one step you can do is to aggregate the southern governors, senators, and House of Reps. Because if you pull in all the governors in the south, all the senators, all the House of Reps, they will most likely not want to lose. And then the northern governors will now, who are also virtually all in APC, will now be afraid to betray their own party. And then they will now ask themselves, why should we betray our party for you who has contested for 20 years without allowing any other person. They would prefer to sink you than sink themselves, sink their party, sink their country. This is what we call in the movie the hard way, the only way. This is the reason why you are seeing Southern governors defect. Of course, it will benefit them, and they will get more pull at the center. But they needed to aggregate the Southern votes together. I still foresee 2 other Southern governors moving, and then they will now pick a few governors also, maybe Taraba, and I don't think Plateau will move. But these are the things, we don't need all this drama. If people had just understood this drive, when it's a Southern turn, leave the Southerners to drag it. Once their turn finishes, leave the Northerners to drag it. And then let's focus on development and getting the most detribalized people and the most competent people. Remember, in all of this, we're not even talking of competence. Mumbai is a very competent governor. We praised him as the best governor. Now that he has defected to APC, I can tell you nobody will praise him again. He will start receiving insults. No matter what he does, no matter how good the thing he continues doing, this is where the masses are also contributing to this fiasco and this quagmire that we have found ourselves. This needs to be understood by all.
Interestingly, Toba, there has been the theory, because again, we have had this situation where questions have been asked about what exactly is it that the All Progressives Congress, or in particular President Bola Tinubu, is pitching to these sitting governors to make their defects. Some persons had theorized, saying that, look, the APC and indeed the president is probably bullying, threatening, manipulating them with issues around grafts-related cases, embezzlement, misappropriation of public funds, and all of that. But you have just pushed a different theory altogether this morning on the program. But let's look at these South-North dichotomy as it has to do with our socio-political evolution as a country. At what point did we get it wrong? Because this idea of saying, on the one hand, was saying we are one Nigeria, we are one country. On the other hand, the strife around, that's North-South, dichotomy has always been a problem. What is the broken link?
I don't think, you see, like you said, I've not mentioned, if governors are being dragged, they still have immunity. Most of these governors are in their first term. So why will a governor be afraid of? And they are in parties that people generally support them already. Why would they defect because you want to bully them when they can even join hands to remove you from the seats? So that narrative is weak. And we've not even seen EFCC coming after them on their aids or anything. So that narrative is weak. See, this is just a simple thing. The president will just, he doesn't even need to do it. There are people who do these responsibilities, but he will be there to physically affirm. And this is where Tinubu beats most of them. His words can be relied upon. His words that he speaks to you in private can be relied upon in public and anywhere else. And he doesn't do open fights. Look at the Wike Fubara fight. It was a very open fight. When Tinubu had an issue with Sanwo-Olu, we had nothing about it apart from rumors. When Obasa had an issue with Miranda, we had nothing from Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu in public until the matter was resolved. So Tinubu's approach to this is more passive-aggressive, more backdoor settlements, less drama in the open. And this is what governors and stakeholders want to see. So for me, we cannot easily change the North-South dichotomy in Nigeria. This is me being very honest. I look at our football teams, I looked at our basketball teams that won, and I saw people picked based on competence, and they did very well. And I was like, if if our sports can, you see the last match we played and won 4-0. Nobody asked why was every tribe not on the pitch. Nobody cared about that. In sports and some issues, we are able to accept that and just want the best for Nigeria. But in politics and in some other aspect like religion, it is very far away from that. We are still very petty. Votes, in my opinion, can easily be aggregated in North based on sentiment or 2-3 people making the decision and announcing it, and 60% of people follow that. That puts the southern politician at a disadvantage, and he has to do his best to gather up governors, senators, and House of Reps, and then start looking for smaller pockets in the middle belt, looking for other aggrieved persons in the middle belt. We have not even mentioned the fact that there's not been any democratically elected president in the entire North Central. So I don't even see the way in which the North Central, well, it may happen in the future. I pray it happens in the future. But I've not seen the clear chance in which a North Central person will emerge as president. And when the power is zoned to the North will now say, okay, since the Northwest has ruled for a long time, let's allow the North Central. I don't see it happening. So power is not given. There has to be a battle for it. But these are the political realities of where we start.
Is it valid an argument, Toba, to say that President Bola Tinubu and indeed the APC are turning Nigeria into a one-party state?
I would not say that is the goal. I would just say that is the outcome, and it will change. You see, other parties have to be wise. McCarthy was interim chairman when PDP zoned to the north, and if not that they were up against Buhari, a man who had a cult following in the north, and was in his first term, my God, PDP gave Buhari a run for his money. We supported Atiku. Atiku was supported everywhere. Atiku beats Tambuwal, who was Wike's candidate in the primaries. Wike pushed the primaries to Rivers to support his long-term friend, Tambuwal, and he lost that day despite everything they did, and he was hot. I was at the convention that day. He went home in the morning angry, then came back to just join the event. But everybody joined hands after the primaries and worked together for Atiku. And well, he had a very strong run. But it's quite surprising that the same Tambuwal, 4 years later, or 8 years later, when 4 years later, when Wike wanted to run, he said, no. You supported me then, but I still have to run. And if I don't run, I'm still going to give it to Atiku. So these are the problems that if we discuss this for the next 10 days, I will keep giving you illustrations of why we are where we are and why this is what is the sad outcome of the way we do politics.
Okay, we talk about these things. I mean, when we have this conversation, it's as if APC and President Bola Tinubu are the front and center of it. So let's talk about the political party that is now bleeding in political sense, talking about the People's Democratic Party. The PDP has always had issues from time to time, and somehow it has also consistently found a way to peel off its skin, so to speak, all right, to reinvent itself, I probably should say. For example, we had seen a situation even when we had people like former Senate President Bukola Saraki, very active in the space at that time, coming up with the new PDP, the NPDP, and at that point we're told that the PDP had rebranded. Is there a chance now for the PDP to rebrand itself, reinvent itself, given the number of strong men, in a manner of speaking, that the party has lost in recent time?
Are we talking about for 2027 or in the long run? So I know
2027 and beyond.
Okay, so for 2027, I don't don't see PDP fielding a strong southern candidate. Most likely the ticket may end up with Bala, but most likely PDP may be in court until the elections. We say what we see. We are not saying we like it or we support it. We are saying predictable outcomes. So I don't see a strong opposition that will be able to face Tinubu in 2027 as I see it. However, I believe that most of the people who have defected to APC now don't love APC. It's not out of love for APC. I've explained to you what has led to them leaving. When power is going to go back to the north, in my opinion, in 2031, you would see all three or four political parties become very strong, pick up strong strong northern candidates, and you will see most of the governors now defect back to where they were after the elections. But it will not be an easy drama to pull off. They will also be faced with or haunted with EFCC cases, but I see most of them going back to PDP or going back to whatever party they want, or creating a new party to go back to. I don't see them. I'm not seeing this as a love for APC. This is just doing what has to be done for the power to remain in the south, for them to also be re-elected. Imagine if PDP has a court case until the elections finish, and every PDP candidate is grounded. If you are a senator, would you stay or would you defect? Imagine if you are a Labour Party senator and you are not sure who is your party chairman, or if your party will have a party chairman by 2027, would you want to stay back in that party, or would you push for your own survival? Because once you are not in the game, you have no say. You are not the strongest. Once you are not on the pitch, you have no say in the match. So these are the realities. I don't see PDP dead. I still see maybe five more governors defecting back after the 2027 election. We'll have very strong northern candidates, and then we'll all choose from among them. But I believe at 2031, all the parties will zone their tickets to the north. You can write this down.
Oh, well, I did not have a pen, but I think I followed your analysis. But let's talk about, before we take a break now, is it your opinion, Toba, that the PDP should, quite frankly, consider joining the coalition?
You see, the coalition came, you see, what you need to look at is the intentions and the persons behind the coalition. Coalitions are coalitions of parties, not coalitions of candidates, which is where ADC and co-travelers got it wrong from the start. And we saw it already. We knew this is not a coalition of parties. It's a coalition of one candidate drawing others around him to make it look like a coalition of candidates. And you see, politics is, we say in crime that the criminals always leaves a trace. We can always predict politicians and see their moves. Luckily for us, they always leave a trace for us to see what they are doing, and they can't hide it. So it was not a strong coalition of parties or ideologies. It was just people looking at the situation, the hunger in the land, and opposition forces, and gathering to see if they can seal it. So I don't see PDP or any party joining that. I don't see any party putting their heads to that. And then the last by-election that took place in 21 different places, we didn't see it. Okay, we saw ADC come second in 2 places, and in most places they came third. As at that time, people thought PDP was dead, but PDP came second and even won some of them. So that stands to argue that if you think you are a strong coalition force and still, me that you think is dead, is still beating you in most of the places, then why should I be the one to join you? So these are the realities on ground that have not been addressed. And if, however, if ADC zones his ticket to the south and maybe an OB picks it up, then we would have an election. Or if a good luck emerges as the ADC candidate, wow, Tinubu will have a run for his money. Those two scenarios can still give us a very close election. Any other thing is a walkover.
That presupposes that you are rating down Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president.
No, not as a person. Please understand me. Not as a person. As a person, I believe he's fantastic. As a person, I believe he's one of the most nationally accepted politicians. As a person, he's refined in the way he does things. He's gracious when he loses. He's not insulting. He's a statesman. But like I said, his only crime, well, not his only crime, his major crime is that he doesn't understand, believe in political swings. He contests every 4 years, whether the ticket is zoned to the north or not, he contests every 4 years. Now that is a big disadvantage. But if he sits this out and now asks for it in 2031, there'll be no bigger person. We'll just be talking about his age and his health. There'll be no bigger person in the north when the ticket is zoned back to the north. But like I said, if you do not obey the political swings, it will always come back to haunt you. It will always come back to haunt you if you do not follow and obey the political swings, which is what Atiku has suffered in the last 16 years.
All right, let's hit a break at this point, everyone. When we return, we'll talk about a few personalities within the political space and how their, entry or otherwise into the 2027 political ring will influence developments going forward. Do stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Well, thank you so very much for staying with us, everyone. So let's just go wrap things up real quick. So, Toba, I'm just going to ask you this. More than we saw in 2023, the talk around former President Jonathan throwing his hat in the ring is getting more, if you like, vehement. Do you see a chance of him wanting to run for president, given that some people say he has earned his respect home and abroad, and as such, he shouldn't soil his hands trying to play dirty with politicians back at home?
Yeah, it's tough for good luck for many reasons. Number one, Atiku can hardly lose in primaries. So if he wants to go to ADC, Atiku knows that, Obi knows that, Good Luck knows that. If you are in a primaries with Atiku, you can hardly win. He would win. He would emerge in the primaries, except bad or the ticket is not zoned in his direction. If not, you can't beat him in the primaries. You cannot beat him in the primaries. And Goodluck is afraid of primaries. He wants where a ticket to be given to him on the top 3 party, given to him as a consensus ticket. Now a law for Goodluck is that he's constitutionally bound to do only 1 term. And the North also knows that there's a political swing, which is why they don't want a candidate like Obi who is promising them that he can do only 1 term. Not he will do only 1 term. He's promising them that he can do only 1 term. 1 term is enough to turn the trajectory of Nigeria around. It was still re-mentioned again yesterday. So they are saying, okay, you want to do 1 term, but you are not constitutionally bound to do 1 term. So they are apprehensive about that because, like I told you, they claim ignorance about it, but they know there's a political swing and it's their turn in 2031. So for them to get a fresh candidate that can do 2 terms, they don't want that. So Goodluck is the person who is most positioned for this. And Tinubu can only do 1 more term. Goodluck can only do 1 more term. So this election looks like a Goodluck-Tinubu election. If Obi hands off the race, Atiku hands off the race, Goodluck is picked in ADC. Maybe Goodluck runs with a Tambuwal or a Kwankwaso. Tinubu is going to have a real battle because Goodluck is loved in the North. There are still strong elements in the North that want to punish Tinubu for some reasons I do not need to say on air.
We're apparently losing the audio stream there with Toba, but we hope
that is also an option for them. We brought you, we can also remove you. So that is there. Goodluck has a very strong chance, but he has to watch carefully. He has to be sure that ADC can zone their ticket to the south. If they don't zone the ticket to the south, I don't believe that he will be on the ballot. I don't believe that he will risk to go into a primaries with Atiku. He won't try it. Not even Obi will try it. Okay. This is Nigeria.
It appears from your own thoughts, Atiku is the reason they say these days, if you are big, you are big. But I want us to talk about some sort of bonus issue on the show this morning. We understand unless there are 11th hour changes today, Professor Josh Mokbuton, who, by the way, shares a couple of things in common with you, will be in front of senators to be screened and hopefully confirmed to become the next chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. What are your thoughts, Toba, regarding these developments?
Yeah, he's constitutionally free to be sworn in. People said he was on Tinubu's presidential tribunal list as one of the lawyers. I didn't see his name on any of the lists. He's from the North Central. The North Central has never produced an INEC chairman. But yes, he's a Yoruba man from Kogi State. He's Okun, he's from my tribe. But also the Yoruba man has never produced the INEC chairman. So these 2 things, but yes, there's a perception to the president being a Yoruba man and the INEC chairman being a Yoruba man. The absence of those 2 positions, never having power, gives the chance for this to play out without, of course, we expect people to back, we expect opposition to cry out, but for heaven's sake, it's an INEC chairman. Kogi has never produced an INEC chairman, North Central has never produced an INEC chairman. Yoruba Nation has never produced an INEC chairman. So I don't see him not being sworn in. Like I said, in my opinion, 2027 is completely wrapped up, except if ADC zones to the south. That's the only thing that can change, in my opinion.
What are some of the challenges you see, Professor Amukpito, having to grapple with beyond the immediate one, which is the off-grid gubernatorial election in Anambra State?
Another tough one will be Osun State. Osun State will still take place before the presidential election, and then his ability to have.
Okay. Incidentally, we lost connection there with Toba Owojaye, public affairs analyst for. I mean, we're just making a case for what some of the challenges will be regarding the nomination, which hopefully will become an appointment in a couple of hours following the confirmation by Senate of Professor Josh Amukpito. Of course, he's talked about Anambra, which he said, yes, it's a challenge, but two more challenges would be Osun and Ekiti gubernatorial elections, which again are off-cycle in 2026, and that will become more like a prelude into 2027 when Nigeria will have its general cycle of elections. Thank you so very much, Toba Owojaye, for taking our time to join us on the show this morning. We're taking a break. Up next will be a conversation around Nigeria's security architecture, what government is doing, what more collaboration we need as a country, and how citizens can rally around government to run circles around the challenges that border on insecurity. Do stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Congratulations to His Excellency Barrister Dr. Peter Undoboise Mba on your decision to defect from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. I am delighted to know that you have made a carefully thought-out decision to pitch tent with the Progressives under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. This is not only historical, but evidently a bold move that is guaranteed to better position the good people of Enugu State. Once again, congratulations, Your Excellency. This is signed by Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, former National Chairman, All Progressives Congress.
It's now time for us to look at the second conversation, which is around socioeconomic stability, as we look at Nigeria's security architecture this morning. And I have a security expert joining me on the conversation. As a matter of fact, the issue of security in Nigeria cannot be talked about just once. We keep talking about it. What is happening? A lot of allegations, a lot of statements, a lot of actions, a lot of stories coming from distressed areas. Just today we're seeing in the news again that there is another attack in Plateau State. And of course, the last time we checked, it was in Kwara State. It's either you're hearing about terrorists, or you're hearing about bandits, or you're hearing about kidnappers, or you are hearing about Boko Haram. All of them put together, they comprise terror. Okay, today we want to look at socioeconomic stability, and as a matter of fact, mirroring Nigeria's security architecture. And joining me on the program this morning is Saliu Mahmood, who is the director of Security Salute Nigeria Initiative. It's good to have you join us on the program this morning, comrade.
Good morning to you, powerful anchor people.
Thank you. Many thanks for joining us on the conversation. Let's quickly look at the security.
Thank you very much.
As it is right now, a lot of things are going on in Nigeria as it has to do with the security situation. On your own part, what's your assessment of the state of Nigeria's security right now?
Well, like I always emphasize, insecurity is not peculiar to Nigeria alone, as every part of the world is experiencing its own part of it. Be it as it may, I would say it is unfortunate because no country would like to be engulfed in insecurity, whether banditry, insurgency, or kidnap-related activities.
Yes, of course. We can hear you. Go ahead. The security situation is becoming very serious, and of course, a lot of Nigerians are reacting to it. But then, when you hear things like, well, what we have is not compared to what they have, all these constitute problems. And as a matter of fact, we need to do something to ensure that all of this doesn't continue, as a matter of fact. And of course, the issue of security in Nigeria is something that a lot of people, sometimes if it doesn't happen to you, you won't know the gravity of it. But as it is right now, we have some situations on ground that are not so palatable. But the major issue that we are facing in Nigeria is how this security situation can be tackled and who should handle the job, whose responsibility is it. And of course, the person speaking to us this morning, as a matter of fact, is a security expert. And he is someone that I've spoken with a couple of times, and he seems to be acquainted with the security situation in Nigeria, as a matter of fact, because they are the ones that are in forefront. It's good to have you join us back, comrade.
So, can I continue?
Yes, please continue.
Okay. So, it is rather unfortunate that we are experiencing this at this point in time. Like I said, the security agencies have been putting their best, but it appears we as citizens also have roles to play, particularly people in areas where these activities are going on also need to discharge their ownership, involvement, responsibilities, and host of orders. So be it as it may, it is unfortunate at this time, but I believe total restructuring of the entire security architecture is key. Improve their welfare, even though I know under the Buhari and this administration, there are certain weapons and armaments that have been procured, but you cannot just procure. What about their welfare? What is the take-home package of the officers and men of the armed forces, police, and other security agencies carrying out onslaught against these non-state actors and host of others? So there are other issues that sometimes when the National Security Advisor is talking, when the Chief of Defense Staff is talking, when Inspector General of Police is talking, when DGDS is talking, they don't bring into consideration the officers and men that go to give their lives for our nation to remain one, to flush out this insecurity. What is the insurance package for them? What is the hazard package? What are the attractive incentives you are giving to them? Because some of them sometimes get disabled, some of them loses their lives and what have you. Then here and there, you procure modern technology for like Tucano, like drones and also other things. It is humans that operate the officers and men. For example now, look at internal security. It's the purview of the police. And the police is battling with even barracks to stay. Look at Abuja where the president is there. They don't have barracks to stay. Lagos, Ikoyi, they sold the barracks. Even those of the armed forces, they are nothing to write home about. So I believe the manpower should be enhanced, increased. Then again, we thank God there are other voluntary organizations like the Civilian Joint Task Force and others that are giving their best to them. What are also the attractions we are giving to them? So above all, it is time for inhabitants of this area to also cooperate with security agencies, because sometimes they connive and they are conspirators in these kidnap-related activities, in issues of armed banditry, in issues of insurgency. Even though there are exceptions in states like Zamfara, Katsina, Kwara, and Niger, because illegal gold mines are also making the bandits not to want the banditry to end, because areas where there are illegal mining activities where they are getting a lot from it. So above all, we all need to join and support the security agencies. Then manpower should be enhanced and increased too. How on earth will you say this is the number of regular combatant cadets you are going to take in Nigerian Defense Academy annually? It should be expanded. At this time of insecurity, you can pick 11 officer cadets, because you know in the NDA there for the regular combatant course, we have both the Army, Naval, and Air Force cadets. You can expand the scope. Then the recruitment too, there shouldn't be barriers. Then for the police academy too, the same. Look at ironic thing now, for police academy, for a child to get admitted, you said Police Service Commission was in charge before. Now you have made Ministry of Police Affairs to be involved, the academy itself to be involved. How do you now expect the rigorous, what have you, for the child of a common person to get there? So these are some of the areas we are also talking about. We are talking about insecurity, and people that you are taking to go and fight this thing, you are having certain barriers. How do you get it right? So we are also architects of our own problems sometimes, and that is why I'm saying Mr. President must do the needful. These academies, these depots, these training schools, people are there, able-bodied. They are ready to join the armed forces, both Army, Air Force, and Navy, Police, DSS, and others. But you don't open the access. You go, you disqualify them, you say maybe this and that, and you have shortage of manpower, and the few ones you have, you've posted them to work in some sensitive areas, which is not the battlefield. So above all, Mr. President, particularly President Bola Tinubu, who is in charge now, must do the needful. Police Academy, the admission into it must not be that rigorous. Why should Police Affairs Ministry be involved in the admission process there? Why should the academy too? We know there are certain things you do, but it was Police Service Commission. Let it continue that way. Therefore, the Defense Academy have spoken on it. The regular short service, regular combatant course, sorry, not short service. Short service, direct short service, and others. They should make it available so that people can join to go and fight this, because they are also facing problem of manpower. Then the weapons that are there, they are obsolete, particularly for the Nigerian police. Barracks are not there. There are no proper trainings, and even where you are training them, enough is not there to feed them. So then for the communities, this is the time for us to give our best by discharging our ownership involvement. If you see, you talk, you say, let us tell our security agencies where they are, how they come, and they'll be able to do it. It is unfortunate that some communities in Katsina and Zawara are now negotiating with bandits, people who made some people widows and widowers and orphans and what have you. So this is rather unfortunate and not needed to be done. There should be intelligence coordination center for the police. There should be for the other security agencies. I know the Air Force has it on now, which other service agencies are also using. The agencies like security and civil defense too, and also others too, should be adequately funded in order to complement the efforts of the armed forces, even though it is not their purview, the purview of the Nigerian police.
All right, comrade, thank you. Let's quickly look at the issue of negotiation. In the National Daily today, take for instance, in a couple of newspapers, Vanguard for instance, the governor of Katsina State, talking about Rada, said they won't negotiate with bandits. And now, the issue of negotiation, some persons have earlier pushed for negotiation. Some persons have even made statements such like, well, a governor in this country said, with just a phone call, these things will become a thing of the past. Some persons have pushed for negotiation. And you even mentioned it just now. What is your take as far as negotiating with bandits is concerned?
I've just told you now, no right-thinking person would advise for negotiation with bandits, particularly non-state actors, whether insurgents or whatever form, because it is even against sensitivity of any religion. These are people that killed some other people's families. So why are you now going to negotiate with them? It is wrong. Even for the communities that went negotiating, it is absolutely wrong. So I think what should be done should be carrying out complete onslaught. Kill them the same way, fire for fire. Remember Tafawa Balogun, it should be Operation Fire for Fire. So why should you go and start saying you are negotiating with bandits and all of others? It is not right. You cannot go and start negotiating. It is not possible. You get my point. It is not possible. So negotiation, I think, is wrong.
Oh, okay.
Are you with me, Agbo?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes, negotiation with bandits or insurgents is very, very wrong, because they've made some people orphans, widows and widowers.
But what about the issue of pardoning people who are caught in the web? We've had situations like, well, this person is a repentant terrorist and now the person is allowed into the society. We've had situations like that. If negotiation is not ideal for a good thinking individual, like you've rightly said, then what would you have to say about the issue of maybe pardoning or repentant terrorists being incorporated into the society? Hello, can you hear me, comrade? All right. Well, this is one issue that a lot of people have actually frowned at. Just recently, there was a pardon, and some persons.
Well, sorry, can you? Are you with me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, such kind of amnesty was done in Borno to Boko Haram, repentant Boko Haram. What happened? They came and spied on the what have you. That was why you started hearing of attacks on military formations in Matele and also other areas in Borno. It was visible. These are some of the, sometimes when we talk with evidence. Are you with me?
Yes.
What happened? So because when they come, they just pretend. They go back. The same repentant Boko Haram that were given amnesty in Borno State were the ones that went and informed ISWAP and others. Bama, they attacked Matele, Mafa, and also other areas in Borno State. So that is to tell you the armed forces and the police have the wherewithal. What happened to intelligence gathering? Is it on annual basis? You know the budgetary allocation made for graduating of intelligence officers. But the issues are you are procuring arms and armament, not taking care of people to man it. It's human being. You need to look at the lives of other ranks of the armed forces. Go and look at their lives in the police. So they don't even have barracks, like I'm telling you. I have been to Lagos. Go to Falomo. They've sold the barracks and the guys that they are developing it. Okay, you want police to take over internal security. He has the largest squad: police mobile force, special forces, intelligence response team, special tactical squad, border police, marine police, and what have you. What is his welfare? The boys that does the jobs are the other ranks. We call them rank and file. From constable, corporal, sergeant, inspector. They do the field job in the night when you are moving. How many assistant commissioners of police do you see checking on the road? It's a question I'm also throwing to you. How many deputy commissioners do you see? Even the commissioner of police that mans the command, how many of them do you see supervising? They are there on phone call with IG. They want all to be correct so that Mr. President will be happy for them to maintain their seat. The same thing goes to the armed forces. How many lieutenant colonels in the night do you see? Maybe when gas brigades is moving from Agui Rosi barracks towards Niger barracks, towards Kampobasi, towards Mambila barracks, towards Mogadishu and host of others. The highest rank you see for them maybe is a captain or a lieutenant. Where are other officers? Maybe a section of Borno, Zamfara, Katsina, where you have onslaught against banditry and insurgency, where they capacitated, where sometimes colonels, brigadier generals also lead patrols. But the issues, I'm even talking about Federal Capital Territory, where you have the president and commander-in-chief, where you have the Senate president, where you have the service chiefs. So the issues are, let us not pretend to be wanting to impress Mr. President every time. Anytime, let me even give you one most anointing. FCT minister is not up to the governor. When he's going to commission any project, you see road safety by side, VIO by the side, a gas brigade by the side, police by the side, other people by the side. And people are there is insecurity in everywhere. So what are we talking about? Are we providing security to make Mr. President to be happy in order to keep the service chiefs alone? Or what are we talking about? So security is for everybody. We should have the policy of lives and let live, not might is right. Globally, our people travel. Sometimes we exchange security programs. We take some of our officers for training in United States of America, UK, Germany, and host of others. Is it that when they go there and learn and come back, they do the opposite? We are being hypocritical. The common people are being killed every day. Nobody seems to talk. We are here to be ministers. We are here to be senators, House of Rep members, or maybe some generals, air vice marshals, rear admirals, AIG. I have emphasized from Sheraton to National Mosque. You cannot walk by 9 o'clock. They will seize your phone. Those bad boys are in the plantations between Mohammed Abacha Estate and Sheraton and National Mosque. As I talk to you now, from 7 o'clock, even with the police checking in front of the National Mosque, by Tofa House, they are already robbing people. Severally have assisted. Then go to Saad, coming to that Zenith Bank by the Ministry of Transport. Same thing, book at Charima House. Then from Obasanjo House, there was a director in presidency who had presentation the next day. He was just by the traffic. They told him, August, something is happening to your car there. Before he looked the other and they put on and carry his laptop. Where all the system he was to do an international presentation were carried away by miscreant. That is even Federal Capital Territory. Severally, there are kidnap-related cases in outskirts. Mbappe, before the special interventions squad by IGP, you can't go to Mbappe or Buhari area where they are not. Was that not the place where a whole family was kidnapped and also other things? That is even Federal Capital Territory. Then, like I told you, Zamfara, illegal gold mines is involved, politics is involved, and also other things. So the issues are, if the entire security architecture is not restructured, we cannot have efficiency. You can't be a member of the Department of State Services to wake up and wear your suit, carry your pistol to harass civilians. No, that is not where the job lies. The job lies, even though they are all living up to expectation, they are also trying to put the record straight. You cannot be a mobile police officer, you wear your green beret, you wear your khaki and be harassing only civilians on the street. No, that is not where the job lies. You cannot be a member of the Nigerian Army and be beating somebody because of girlfriend. That is not where the job lies. You cannot be a member of the Nigerian Navy or Air Force and wear your white, or you wear your blue, black, or you wear your white, blue and be harassing innocent civilians in the Metropolitan Police. No, it is where you go for air onslaught against the bandits that we know that you are properly trained. It is when you protect the maritime waters as Nigerian naval officer that we now know it. So it is right, it is high time the security architecture and restructures. You can bring in committee of retired generals, air vice marshals, rear admirals, and other police officers, AIG, and also others. Let them look into the situation. Let them do visitations. The Senate committees on security and national intelligence, subcommittees on Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, Defense, and also other things, do they also oversight? The lower chamber House of Reps, do they oversight? How many times have they visited outposts of the police to know whether they have the AK-47s there?
Oh, all right. That's a very serious situation right here. And of course, this is worrisome because this thing has escalated to almost everywhere. Like my guest said, as a matter of fact, it is glaring that I think the truth is this. No individual should be terrorized by people who are in uniform in the name of maybe trying to exercise their power over the Nigerian people, where we have a lot of issues in Nigeria. Now, comrade, can you hear me? Hello, comrade? All right. We'll get connected. We'll establish connection with the security expert very soon. But then, I think he has spoken well. Number one, before you even go out to tackle security, you yourself need to be secured, first of all. You actually need to be well, at least paid. Okay. But the issue of harassing innocent citizens instead of harassing criminals, implicating people that are not criminals in the name of maybe one or two reasons, that's not the best. But then I think we need more sensitization, even for people in power and, of course, people who are in charge of this security. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return and the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Congratulations to His Excellency Barrister Dr. Peter Undoboise Mba on your decision to defect from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. I am delighted to know that you have made a carefully thought-out decision to pitch tent with the Progressives under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. This is not only historical, but evidently a bold move that is guaranteed to better position the good people of Enugu State. Once again, congratulations, Your Excellency. This is signed by Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, former National Chairman, All Progressives Congress.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, the issue of security in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. We're talking about the situation, and of course, Comrade has been doing justice to it. Comrade Salihu Mahmood. Now, let's get back, Comrade. You were saying something very vital before this connection. So can you go ahead now?
So like I'm saying, we don't need to be hypocritical about security. It is high time we restructure it, improve the welfare of the officers, and then do the needful beyond just procurement of arms and armaments, because it is humans that uses it. Then above all, it is also time the communities at the receiving end also discharge their ownership involvement rights, because we have such rights where we also need to assist the security agencies on privileged intelligence sharing. For example, some of the communities where these things are happening knows how these kidnappers come, where they move the markets they go to. There are several times where they even arrest people that give them fuel, do this and that. So it is also time for us to also contribute to security in the country. So it's a two-way thing. So negotiation, no. We stand by saying no. You don't negotiate with somebody that killed. You don't negotiate with somebody that rendered people homeless. You don't negotiate with notorious people who also, some of them like insurgents now, they have international supporters because theirs differs from those bandits. So in a situation like that, we have to be very, very cautious. And I was very glad with the position of the Chief of Defense Staff that he said there is not going to be anything regarding negotiation. Yes.
Now, all right. Thank you, Comrade. Comrade, now let's come to FCT now. While you were speaking, you talked about information and everyone should be security conscious wherever they go. The issue of most times, you see these people using motorbike for their operations. Just the day before yesterday, someone, a colleague of mine actually, his phone was snatched from his hand, okay? And these guys came in a bike, you know. So in this situation now, what is your assessment of the security situation in FCT? We've had situations whereby you just, where you are, like you were calling about some very red hotspot just now. What do you think can be done? Because these Okadas, they have association and all of that. If people are using Okada to rob or do banditry or maybe carry out some activities in FCT and other parts of the country, is there anything that can be done to track these people?
Well, they need to enhance supervision.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yes.
They need to enhance supervision. Then surveillance. There's surveillance too. Because some of these dark spots, if they are well manned, sometimes they do it meters away from where the police are checking. Are you with me? So there used to be CCTV camera initiative where China International Corporation gave like counterpart funding during Bala Mohammed. I don't know what those happened. But this wiki administration can, install CCTV cameras just the way the street lights are working now. Are you with me? The street lights are working, then there should be CCTV camera installation so that then from the control, there should be officers on duty control rooms where even it is happening. There are routine patrol, surveillance, and host of others. So there are a lot that needed to be done. But intelligence gathering should be more. Yes.
No, all right. Now let's talk about more hands. You already emphasized the importance of more hands, which is very crucial for me. The reason why I'm talking about this is because of state policing. Then sometimes you hear the vigilantes say, well, they are not being funded and there is an extent to which they can go. Now, what would you have to say about external support to curb security in Nigeria? What's your take?
Hello, come again.
Okay, I was talking about the fact, because you also talked about intelligence gathering, which can also which can come from the public. That's one. Then, secondly, the issue of the vigilantes.
Yes.
If, like the way you were speaking about the remuneration salaries for security operatives, the same thing is applicable. That of the vigilantes even worse because they don't have fundings at all.
No, vigilantes are voluntary organizations. They are not under government.
Yes, yes. That's what I'm saying. In their own situation now, how can they be empowered, all right, to fight
already you see forest guards. The president has consented to forest guards. What have you? Automatically, government is going to be paying them. So I think the Office of National Security Advisor, they can be given some honorarium to the what you call it, to the voluntary organizations, just like the way they did for the Civilian Joint Task Force in Maiduguri. We remember the same way they did for them.
Oh, okay.
Are you with me?
Yes, I am. Now, let's go to Kwara State right now. Kwara State used to be known as a very peaceful state before now. But we are hearing of infiltration of banditry and all of that. So what can you say about the escalation of terrorism, banditry, kidnapping into different areas of Nigeria? Because some persons are saying, hey, come on, like a joke, these people are getting into different states of the country. And that will not be good for the country. So what would you have to say about the escalating nature of insecurity in Nigeria, and how can this be tackled?
You see, for example, that of Kwara, initially from Kwara North, it came from Mahmuda terrorists. Then it escalated to Kwara South, where kidnap-related activities, and there were certain locals that were involved, that were arrested by DSS. There is wife of even a monarch in a town called Babanla, where they found huge amounts of kidnap ransom money in account. So some of these kidnap-related activities in some of these places do not just happen like that from outside. That no, it is two-way conspiracy. Are you with me?
Yes.
It is two-way conspiracy. So the issue I'm trying to say is, let us fight poverty, let us fight illiteracy, then let there be food security. Are you with me? When it is there, people will not have cause to be involved in certain things that are not normal. So generally on
all right.
Insecurity. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
So generally on insecurity. Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Let manpower be increased. Let manpower be increased. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Let manpower be increased, then arms and armament, then let intelligence gathering be enhanced also. Then surveillance. During Abacha, we know the kind of surveillance that happens of the strike force between this and that. So far, that is how it should be.
But the issue of community policing, don't you think, because a lot have been said about it, but it has not been implemented. What do you think? Can they actually be the solution to this banditry and kidnapping especially? Hello, comrade. Oh, all right. We're looking at, I'm trying to establish the issue of community policing, which the president have actually talked about in the past. But then a lot of people are of the opinion that state policing may not bring a final solution to it because of the way the federal police is being handled and all of that. But as it is right now, let's just look at other issues, all right? Number one, if state policing come into place, wouldn't they be manhandled? All right, comrade, let's talk about the issue of state policing. I was talking about the issue of state policing. What is your idea of it? Because a lot of people are skeptical about it due to the way the federal police is relating with the people. Sometimes they'll tell you the police is your friend, but then if you get in contact or maybe in close range, you will know that there are some things that needs to be worked on as it has to do with policing. Now, state policing, what do you think, and could that be the next solution to banditry especially?
governors don't have the capacity to even establish state police, because even residual creation like VIO, they've not been able to take care of it. It's a purview of state governors. State fire service, what equipment have they been able to give state fire service? Governors that can't pay 70,000 minimum wage. Therefore, when you are bringing state police, you need training schools, you need arms and armament for them, you need to build stations, you need to give them uniform, you need to do a lot. So where will they get the funds from? So take care of the existing police. Police have the largest squad, police mobile force, special forces, marine police, counter-terrorism unit, intelligence response team, special tactical squad, border police, conventional. All that you need is adequate funding. Make their retirement benefits attractive. You have even SP, special protection unit in the police. There is nothing they don't have. So fund the existing federal police. The governors can complement the effort of the federal government. Part of their security vote, they can also do that. So we shouldn't be playing politics with security. Security is not an easy task, particularly policing. So state police cannot be the solution, because the funding will not be there for the governor. And if at all they conclude on that, they will also use it for their own gains, political gains during elections.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much. That's well spoken. It's all in the bid to have a stable socio-economic situation in Nigeria. Many thanks for joining us on the program this morning, comrade.
Thank you very much, Ramsey. Thank you.
All right. Have a beautiful day ahead of you. All right. As it is, the issue of state policing may not be the final solution to banditry, kidnapping, and terrorism in our communities and, of course, our states. Most of these attacks happen in rural communities, especially when people are asleep at night. Take, for instance, the Yerwata attack that claimed a lot of life. The ones happening in Plateau State, for instance. The way they attack, they take the community unawares. And the vigilantes might not be readily available because of maybe funding, because they are voluntary organization. But then I think we need to call a spade a spade. Insecurity is eating deep into the fabrics of the society, and there is need for so much attention in that direction. It is escalating into different states and communities in Nigeria here. So the needful needs to be done. At this point, this is the end of the first conversation. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return and we'll bring Global Morning to a close.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Congratulations to His Excellency Barrister Dr. Peter Undoboise Mba on your decision to defect from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. I am delighted to know that you have made a carefully thought out decision to pitch tent with the Progressives under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. This is not only historical, but evidently a bold move that is guaranteed to better position the good people of Enugu State. Once again, congratulations, Your Excellency. This is signed by Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, former National Chairman, All Progressives Congress.
So many thanks for staying with us. Well, we can't finish talking about the issues in Nigeria, state of the nation, what's happening in the political scene. We're waiting for the conclusion of Amopitan's confirmation and, of course, the security architecture of Nigeria. First of all, the person who is fighting insecurity, how secured is the person in the first place? Then how happy is the person doing his job? Is part of the things our guests today have talked about. Talk about Nigeria Police Force, Nigeria Army, the rank and file who are in the forefront of this battle. Right. Are they well paid? Okay. Are they well kitted? Do they have the required equipment? Then you come to talk about state policing. Now, the state government, the governors that cannot pay minimum wage of 77,000, would they be able to build barracks, build police station, get kits and all that the state police would need to function properly? As a matter of fact, that has been the fulcrum of the discussion this morning, as it has to do with socio-economic stability, looking at Nigeria's security architecture.
Quite interesting, Ramsey. You know, it's almost an election year. Of course, the conversation has been ramping up the last couple of months up until this point. So while we are in the middle of that, there's the natural tendency to want to forget that we still have to tackle insecurity. As a matter of fact, that is even more of a pressing issue than the elections themselves. But let's continue to push national development on all fronts, whether political, economic, or as it has to do with security.
All right, I think this is where we'll call it a wrap on the program this morning.
Right, of course. Thank you, everyone, as always, for joining us here on Global Morning. We do not take your time for granted. I'm Muyi Mofwegbe, again reminding us that the views of our guests on all of our programs, including here on Global Morning, are their opinions.
My name is Ramsey Enoch. Many thanks for joining us. Global Morning return again, same time tomorrow.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national